Hi, we are from class JCS 1434D, group DV5, and we will present about the topic of application of linear algebra in telecommunication industry. So these are our group members. We have 5 members in our team. Firstly, Nurul Azira binti Muhammadiyah and her ID number is 2021605862. Secondly, Nur Zulaika binti Zuhaimi and her ID number is 2021892166. And thirdly, Laila Atira binti Mat Hassan Asari and her ID number is 2021840862. Fourthly, Shaza Khalila binti Ahmad Zairi and her ID number is 2021808748. And lastly, Muhammad Zulfahmi bin Zulkifli and his ID number is 2020488296.
Telecommunication, usually referred to as telecom, is the electronic transfer of information across great distance, including voice, data, and video. This is a broad phrase that covers a variety of information transmitting technologies and communications infrastructures, including telegraph, landline phones, mobile phones, satellites, microwave communications, fiber optics, and radio, and television broadcasts. The Latin verb communicare, which means to share, is joined with the Greek prefix tele, which means distant, to get the phrase telecommunications. Alexander Graham Bell created the first telephone. These early models need telegraph or translator at both ends. The first phone included an intercom system which allowed for direct communication between two phones. The phone started to change over time. Mobile phone become more advanced over the first 10 years of 21st century. Smartphone use was recessive by 2012. Nowadays, we can accomplish anything by utilizing just our phone. I will talk about introduction to case studies. The first one is matrices is a group of numbers arranged to fixed number of rows and columns. Next is size, the number of rows and columns contained within it. It has a history of applications in solving linear equations. The equation has a matrix formed by 3 rows and 3 columns, contains 3 types of handphone and 3 telecommunication stores, and namely, shows that the number of mobile phone ordered by each store and the amount that the company has to pay for the order and the budget for each phone. The problem is determine the unit price of each type of mobile phone and determine whether it exceeds the budget. This problem needs to be solved by using the Gaussian elimination method to calculate the unit price of each type of handphone. What is Gaussian elimination? It is a method used to perform the 3 types of matrix rows operations on an augmented matrix coming from a linear system of equation in order to find the solution. Solving our daily life, even though the problem can be incredibly complex.
There are 4 purpose and objective of this study case. Firstly, we need to find the unit price for each type of mobile phones. Secondly, we need to determine the total price of each mobile phones are still in budget or not. Thirdly, we need to utilizing the Gaussian elimination approach, which is the best method for solving a system of linear equations. And lastly, writing an augmented matrix from an equation system and an equation system from augmented matrix. After that, do a matrix row operations. Finally, use matrices to solve a system of linear equations.
Next, we continue with the methodology. The procedure used to find a solution set for the system of linear algebraic equation is known as Gaussian elimination, which is referred to the row reduction. And then it concludes of 2 stages, which is the first one is forward elimination and the second one is the back substitution. We go to the first one, which is forward elimination. It relates to the row reduction required to convert the given matrix to its echelon form. And then it is to determine whether there is no solution, a single solution, or an unlimited number of solutions. We go to the second one, which is back substitution. It converts the matrix into reduced row echelon form by continuing to apply row operation until a solution is discovered. It is also to execute row reduction on a matrix. A series of a basic row operation must be carried out in order to alter the matrix until it contains zeros in the lower left hand corner. Thus, an upper triangular matrix should be the result of the computation. So basically there are three basic row procedures, which is the first one is row swap, the second one is scalar multiplication, and the third one is row sum. We go to the first one, which is row swap, which is we exchange any two rows. And the second one is scalar multiplication, which is we multiply any row by a non-zero constant. And the last one is row sum, which is we add a multiple of one row to another row. As a result, using Gaussian elimination to solve a linear system using matrices is a well-organized, structured, and effective technique.
Problem statement: due to the achievement of his employees, Encik Zafrail, the owner of a company, bought mobile phone for his employees as gift. He bought three different types of mobile phone, which are phone A, phone B, and phone C. He bought these phones from three different telecommunication stores, namely iGadget, Fifi Mobile, and Lila Telecom. He has also set a budget for each type of phone. From iGadget, he bought 3 units of phone A, 4 units of phone B, and 1 unit of phone C. The total for these 8 units of phone is ringgit. From Fifi Mobile, he bought 2 units of phone A, 2 units of phone B, and 3 units of phone C. The total for these 7 units of phone is ringgit. From Lila Telecom, he bought 3 units of phone A, 4 units of phone B, and 2 units of phone C. The total for these 9 units of phone is ringgit. Budget for phone A is ringgit, for phone B ringgit, and for phone C is ringgit. The issue we face is we need to determine the unit price for each type of mobile phone and whether it exceeds the limits of the budget for each type of phone or not.
This is solution for problem statement. To find unit price for each type of mobile phone, we must write the information into the linear equation and we transform into augmented matrix. We use Gaussian elimination method and perform ERO. First, to remove 3 and 4 in row 3, we do -1 minus R3 replace in R3. To make leading one in first row, 1 over 3 times R1 replace in R1. To remove 2 in row 2, we use negative 2 R1 plus R2 replace in R2. And to make leading one in the second row, we do negative 3 over 2 times R2 replace in R2. The augmented matrix has been transformed into a row echelon form. After that, convert the matrix back into the linear equation system. To get the value of each type phone, we use back substitution and get the value for mobile phone A is RM1332, for mobile phone B is RM2605, and last for mobile phone C is RM1523. Next, to determine whether it exceeds the limit of budget for each type of phone, we total up the price of purchase in every type of mobile phone and we got for mobile phone A is RM 10,656, for mobile phone B is RM 26,050, and last for mobile phone C is RM 9,138.
So now we are in the last part of this case study. For the conclusion, in this particular case, we discovered that the cost of each three variety of mobile phones were 1,332 for mobile phone A, 2,605 for mobile phone B, and 1,523 for mobile phone C. The total purchases for mobile phone B are over the budget, which exceeds 6,000. Meanwhile, for mobile phone A and mobile phone C, they are still under the budget. From any angle, we can conclude that the Gaussian elimination method is the most acceptable method to employ in order to obtain the price for each mobile phone.